All right, guys, welcome into the Casual Fandom podcast. It's your host Hamza here with
Hassan is me. We going at it again.
yeah. This will be probably the first episode that you guys see as far as the Casual Fandom podcast. We're just gonna be talking sports, making crazy casual takes, wild takes. Arguing about stuff that we normally do. But we're gonna try to drop an episode every weekend at least. Just get into the main stuff: football, basketball. We'll double dabble on a couple other sports and things as well too. So that's something that you can expect from us. Also, we're gonna have kind of a little kind of trivia game vibe in some videos that'll be separate from the podcast that we'll record and kind of get into that stuff as far as like just activities and making it fun and interactive a little bit too. So a couple things we'll touch on today's episode. We're going to talk about the trade deadline. Obviously, who won the trade deadline.
Crazy, right?
Some random
trades. What we expected.
It's stuff that you didn't really expect. We'll get into that. Obviously, we'll check in as far as All-Star break coming up. So we'll see, we'll check the temperature on a couple pretenders, contenders, and then we'll get into the NFL side of things. Obviously Super Bowl weekend. It's crazy that we'll talk a little bit basketball with obviously the Super Bowl coming up, but we'll get into that. Some of the Pro Bowl stuff as well too. What's going on there, and just what's going on. You want to say anything or go over anything before we get started?
When did they start doing the Pro Bowl on Tuesday? That was my first time seeing that.
I think it was like last year. Whenever they started doing making it an actual flag football game.
Oh, okay,
That's when they did it. Because what they used to do, they used to have a recording, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, they used to do it was weird the way they operated. But
yeah, I didn't even know it was on. I probably would have watched it. I just seen it. I've seen it on, but DraftKings or something. I seen the final score. I said, "Dang, I didn't even know it was on."
they had eyes on that thing.
Nope.
That's you ain't gonna bet on that.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, but NBA trade deadline. Let's get into it. Is there a particular trade you want to start off on? Obviously, we got the biggest news was a trade that didn't go down with Giannis not being traded. Milwaukee kind of playing around with everybody and not actually trading Giannis.
Why do you think they did that?
And obviously they didn't see it. For those of you who are watching, you didn't see that what we recorded last week, but we kind of talked about it a little bit. I didn't think Milwaukee was going to make a trade anyways, because I feel like, and it's kind of weird and annoying the fact how they went about it, because obviously Giannis, they made Giannis available to the media to talk and everything. He's just doing the same old thing he's been doing the past couple of years. Oh, I don't want to leave Milwaukee. I don't want to do this and that. And I felt like the teams that were really, gunning for him as far as, Minnesota, Golden State, and Miami, I didn't feel like they were making crazy offers. So it's one of those things where I just felt like it probably wasn't going to happen anyways. But
yeah. I think Milwaukee more so was just shooting it out there and trying to see what they can get. I don't think they were going to trade him yet. Because I feel like they got the prize. So, you know what I'm saying? Shoot your best offer, and we did, the ball is in our court. So, they're more so just playing it safe and trying to get the best return for their investment. Trying to get the best return for Giannis. And with the teams that weren't interested in him at the moment, I don't think either one really had enough to where, you can be like, dang, I can really, I can really come up off of this. You got Golden State. I don't know how many draft picks that they had, but they didn't really.
I think they had the most to give.
They had the most draft picks, right? But I don't think they have young players to really make it. Yeah, we want that. Or and then Miami. I feel like Miami had a couple offers, but they had more so veterans. They were going to give up Norman Powell or Wiggins.
Yeah,
and then. What was the other team? The Knicks, obviously, but
Knicks wouldn't. I don't think the Knicks ever had any traction for real.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like the teams that really, I think it was other teams that I feel like should have shot for Giannis that could have gave him a great chance to compete for the championship this year. But I think this summer is going to be when he get traded. I believe. I believe
Yeah.
it's going to be teams that looking forward towards the next season, and it's going to be something big, and it's going to happen just like when that Luka trade. I mean, that Luka trade was
Yeah,
crazy, but
that
I'm
was
not.
that came out.
That was crazy, but I think it's going to happen this summer. I think they're going to get him out of there.
Yeah, we'll get into kind of the after effects of the Luka trade with AD going to Washington. But
Yeah,
real
AD
quick
going to
on
Washington.
Giannis, I think it was kind of weird that I feel like the only way Milwaukee was gonna make that trade was if somebody just threw the whole kitchen sink at him. If
Right.
I feel like that was the
Trying to
only
get
way they pulled
everything.
the trigger on a trade. But
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
do you got
That's the
any
only way.
prediction? You think you got any prediction on or where you feel like Giannis could land in the offseason?
I mean, I think it's some spots that can really get them, that can offer what will Milwaukee really want, like such as OKC, such as San Antonio. But I don't know if those teams want to give up like their young future. Obviously, OKC and Spurs, they don't have to give up Wimba or SGA.
Yeah, yeah,
But they'll have to give up their other core, their young players, and a bunch of draft picks to get them. And I believe those two teams getting Giannis would make a huge difference. But
absolutely.
do they want to give up all that? Because you're gonna have to give up a lot for
You're gonna have to
Giannis.
give up a lot, and that's the
Yeah.
thing
So
with OKC and it being in the off season, teams like it just because the playoffs could anything could happen. OKC
yeah,
could bottom out and play like
yeah. I
trash in the
think.
playoffs, and then they'd be like, all right, let's get these
Yeah.
two
Let's get.
guys out of here. Let's get
Yeah.
Jalen Williams and all these rope. Let's bring in Giannis and
Right.
get rid of
That's
all
why
these
I think
picks.
more so why OKC or the Spurs, they feel like they content with where they're at right now. They feel like they got enough to where they can win the championship.
Yeah,
So let me hold out after the season. If we feel like we need them or we feel like we got to make some moves, then that's when it's gonna happen. But until then, I think this offseason is gonna be interesting.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. Nothing yet with Giannis. Another trade, like we mentioned, that AD trade.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
Um, yeah, Anthony Davis going to Washington. Let me pull up the
That was
exact trade.
unexpected.
Yeah, and it seemed like apparently I saw a report this morning. Chris Paul or not Chris Paul, Rich Paul didn't even approve of the trade. Anthony Davis didn't approve of the trade, but obviously there's no like veto needed or anything like that that could stop that trade from happening. But Dallas sent Jalen Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, AD, and Dante Exum. Um, and then Chris Middleton, Tyus Jones, AJ Johnson, Marvin Bagley, and then Charlotte was in there for a little throw in for
Hmm.
Malachi Branham. Do you think now? I'll be honest. When this trade first came out, I'm just that's the last place I would have randomly just thought AD would have ended up. Atlanta
And
was trying for him. So, do you think this? You think the Wizards are gonna kind of hold on to AD and kind of push for that Trey Young and AD pairing? Next season, they might get a top pick. Shoot, they could add Darren Peterson or something. So,
right, I
you
think it
think?
all depends. I think that's what it depends on.
Yeah,
If they can, like, if they do obviously get a lottery or a top pick, end up with AJ or Darren Peterson or
yeah,
a nice young prospect, but I think it depends, man. I mean, DC is a nice city. I don't know if I seen reports that AD he want to play for a contender,
yeah,
and he pretty much said is if we're not competing here, I don't want to be here,
yeah,
and pretty much that's what he to sum it up what he said. So I think it all depends on what the Wizards do
hmm
from here until the off season. As far as like you can't really do much right now, but as far
no,
as like the draft and then free agency. And I don't know, you got two players who are at this stage of their careers are more so injury prone. So, the Wizards they can make a lot of moves and bottom out and it just costs them another 10 years
yeah. That's
or
true.
you know how it goes. So, I think it's just with Anthony Davis, if I was the Wizard, I wouldn't put all my eggs in Anthony Davis and Trey Young. Obviously, I wouldn't do that, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, they did give away a few young players, but they still got a nice young core. I think they
yeah.
beat OKC
AD.
last night as a 17-point dog.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was the
Yeah, that
17
was
and a half
crazy.
point
So
underdog. Yeah,
yeah, so we should see.
AD has 2 years, so this year left, and then next year, and then he has a player option for the 27-28 season. So
Okay.
Washington is not in a bad spot. Obviously they got Trey Young in the same situation too, who
Right.
I think he has a player option for this season, and obviously he wants an extension. I don't think they give him an
Yeah.
extension. AD is kind of it's funny because it's kind of what happened last year when he got traded to Dallas. They
Mm-hmm.
were we don't know how they ended up with a top pick, obviously, but they ended up with a top pick. Obviously, they had AD, they had Kyrie, and they had a bunch of good, you know, rogue players around them, which obviously is a lot more experienced than the guys Washington have. I am interested to see because if Washington can, if they stick it out for a year, get those young guys around them. You got Alex Sarr, you've got Bub Carrington. Those guys, those young guys,
Got a
if they
nice young team. Yeah.
yeah, Kaishan George. If those guys kind of come into their own and grow, especially if you add a top pick, it could be interesting. But I don't know if AD wants to stick around that long, which is
Yeah.
crazy that he's making the man. I mean, the guy can't play. Like he can barely
Man,
stay on the
his
court.
injuries is just getting worse.
Yeah, honestly, if you're a team, like if you're a GM or a coach, I mean, this guy, it's hard to put all your eggs in that basket because of you never know
I
what they can
agree.
make
I
injury
agree,
wise.
especially with that. You don't know how much he got. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. AD just, man, I'm done. I retire. I wouldn't be surprised.
literally.
What
Uh,
you think about Kristaps Porzingis going to
yeah,
Golden
that's
State?
another trade we'll get. So with the Kristaps trade, it's kind of the same thing with AD. I feel like I'm surprised Atlanta wanted Kaminga because they got a lot of players. They got a lot of forwards and
They
like a
do.
lot of
They do.
they got a lot of guys that are good like at a bunch of different things, but like like Jalen Johnson is obviously the best player on the
Just got
team.
multi-talented, but not
Yeah,
like really great players.
yeah, guys that can do a little bit of everything, but they can't
Hmm.
do specifically one thing like super great. Uh,
Right.
and obviously they don't have like a true point guard over there as of now. So um, as far as for Golden State, I don't. I mean, Steph. If you're telling me this was Porzingis that was putting up numbers in Boston, I think it would. But still, even with that Boston team, they were deep. So Porzingis was still in and out of the
They were
lineup.
really
So
deep.
he just whenever he played good, it was kind of like a bonus. With Golden State, I mean, he's gonna need to probably be a key factor, especially with Jimmy Butler injured. So
Yeah. I think more so that's what it was. Jimmy Butler being out for the season, and then Golden State have been looking for a stretch for a long time.
yeah,
Like remember they were interested in Laurie Markkinen for a
Lawyer
while.
marketing, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
so
they
I
had
think
some,
this is for that.
yeah. They've
Like
always, I feel like Golden State's always, ever since the Steph Curry era, they felt like they needed a stretch big because Draymond kind of plays that four. He's not obviously
right.
he's not a shooter. He's kind of your
Hmm.
facilitator a little bit, and then just put Steph around him, and obviously the gravity that he has, and then you just get a big that can kind of space the floor. That's always kind of what I feel like Steve Kerr was looking for,
Yeah.
to kind of fill that out. But I don't think that moves the needle for Golden State. I think I mean
Not in the
they're
West, no.
yeah. I
I
mean, I,
don't
I
think
think
so.
obviously once you get into the Western Conference, uh, the playoffs, I think Golden State probably might end up a playing team. I think they'll finish
Hmm.
up a playing team. If they get into a 7-game series with somebody, obviously, with Curry playing, just depending on who they match up with, anything can happen. Uh, but just without that second star around, because I don't think Kristaps is gonna. I mean, even Jimmy Butler last year didn't give you a huge amount. He played solid against Houston. Um, Obviously, when Curry went down against Minnesota last year, he didn't do too much. So
Yeah.
I don't
It
think
was
Kristaps
done.
is going to give you that kind of production when it comes to playoff time. So, um, what's another? Oh, Zubac went to the Pacers. What you think
Yeah.
about that?
I think that's a good pickup. Coming I mean, not necessarily for this year, but I feel like with the Pacers, I honestly think the Pacers are tanking. They want that top pick.
Oh, yeah. Did you see?
Yeah,
Did you see
I
that
think that.
little thing where they who are they playing? I think they were playing. I think it was Utah.
Hmm.
Utah was playing the Pacers after Utah had just made a couple trades, and the Pacers after the trades was announced, the Pacers sat like eight players just so that they can kind of match what the Jazz had, um, and then the Jazz ended up winning, or the Pacers ended up winning. I can't remember. I think
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's what's going on. Because I mean, you lose. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton is a key player, but to go from the NBA Finals one season to losing, I mean, they lost Miles Turner as well.
Yeah,
But even losing Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton, you still got Nimhar, you still got Pascal Siakam, Benedict Mathurin, you still got what's the Nate Neesmith, you still
yeah.
got and
Them
TJ
Harden.
McConnell, you still got a solid team that I'm not saying you're gonna be at the top, but maybe play in between like what 7 to 11 ish around that around that standing, but they're almost dead last in the whole NBA.
Yeah,
That's to me that's crazy.
yeah.
It was I think they had about two what 12 straight losses, two like they had some of the longest losing
Yeah,
streaks
it
in the
was.
season
They
this
had
year.
some ups and downs. It was. They sent out
Yeah,
Benedict Mathurin in that trade with Isaiah
yeah,
Jackson, so Clippers
right,
and
yeah.
some picks. The Clippers
Yeah.
got a
I
couple
think
picks.
Zubac
Yeah,
is a good pickup, mainly for next year. But Tyrese Halliburton, if he could come back healthy, they're gonna have a lottery pick. They get
yeah.
a lottery pick, and just imagine the Pacers do get a top two pick where they can get Darren Peterson. He can match up. He can play very
Or
well with
AJ. Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton, or even AJ play the forward. Now you got Siakam with AJ or Siakam with Darren Peterson, and then with Zubac,
Yeah.
they'll be dangerous. They'll be
You
dangerous. I
think
think that's a
Zubac? It's because the Pacers they like to play fast. You think Zubac kind of slows them down from that whenever this team is fully healthy, or you feel like he'll help them?
I mean, I feel like Zubac can run the floor, but he's not gonna stretch the floor like Miles
Yeah,
Turner used to do.
exactly.
But I feel like he can run the floor to where Tyree it helped Tyree Halliburton because Tyree Halliburton's a hell of a point guard. So
Yeah,
I feel like he can. I
yeah.
feel like he can.
And then and Zubac is a pretty good defender as well.
Yeah,
Too.
he's a pretty good defender, rebounder. I mean, what they need because they're gonna have a lot of players on the outside can stretch the floor and everything.
Yeah. Another trade: James Harden to Cleveland, Darius Garland going to L.A.
And they
What do you
just
think
played each
about
other also after that trade, but neither
that?
James Harden or Darius Garland played. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think who wins that trade, I would say possibly the Clippers. But then again, obviously, if I was to choose who I'm
You think
picking
the
between
Clippers won that
James
trade?
Harden, huh?
You think the Clippers win that trade?
I think it benefited both sides.
Yeah,
But Clippers did get a young point guard that they're gonna
that's true.
have, for for the future, foreseeable future. But
Yeah,
with the with the Cavaliers, obviously you get James Harden, who is still a top point guard in this league. And if you ask me, like, will I take James Harden or Darius Garland just for one season, not including age, not including anything? I'll go James Harden.
yeah. Especially
Yeah.
right now. I mean, James Harden playing good. He's not. He's still ball dominant, but he's still more of a facilitator than he used to be.
Yeah.
He's,
I think that'll benefit Donovan Mitchell a lot.
yeah. I
And
think
then
it'll help their
also,
bigs too, because I mean
yeah,
Zubac
I was
is
saying like Jared Allen as well, right?
yeah,
It,
because
it'll benefit them a
Zubac
lot. So,
when he got with James Harden, he took a big step, and
hmm
obviously with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, we'll see how
yeah.
that
And how
does.
many games has Garland played this season? He's been injured
He
a
didn't
lot,
play
right?
that much. Let me
Yeah, he's
see.
injured now,
That's
I
the
think.
problem. Yeah, I know he's injured now, and they're saying I heard a report that he could like he's got a foot injury right now. I think, but
Yeah.
I think they're saying he might have to get screws or something in his foot or
Oh,
something.
okay. Well, yeah,
Um,
that's maybe Cleveland sees something that they didn't really like to trade a young player like that. I mean, Darius Garland, he's a what, two-time All-Star, so
yeah, he's played
he's
only
definitely
26 games this year, which is
okay.
he
26
was
out
hurt at the
of about
beginning of the year.
26 out of about 40 something. So he played
No,
about
I was like almost 50 some games.
okay, so about half of the season he missed. so
Yeah.
far.
So yeah, I think in the long run, if Darius Garland can stay healthy, you can kind of give one more crack at it with a younger point guard with Kawhi. But I don't see the Clippers doing anything.
No, I don't see.
Especially, I mean, they got rid of Zubac too, so
Yeah, I don't really shoot. I don't see them doing much either, honestly.
yeah. Do you feel like there was a particular winner of the trade deadline in your eyes?
I think the Hornets made some good trades. I think
Yeah,
they picked up Kobe White. They did a couple of good ones. They had a
yeah.
couple of, Tyus Jones, veteran point guard, but they do got a lot of point guards. The Hornets do. I don't know if this is, but they've been playing good. They won 8 straight games. Just beat Houston last
Just
night,
be Houston.
and on the road as well. So I think the Hornets did make some good moves. I think Hornets they made some good moves. They got some nice bigs. They got a nice young team. Brandon Miller been playing really well. LaMelo Ball, he's starting to take control of the team and starting to present his leadership. And then the
Yeah,
rookie Knipple, he's what? Runner up for rookie of the year?
yeah. Oh,
He's
Tyus
pretty
Jones ended up in Dallas because
Oh,
of
okay,
that
so
trade.
okay.
Yeah, but they got Kobe White, obviously.
Yeah, they did get Kobe White.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good pickup. I wonder how
uh,
they're gonna do the rotation with Brandon Miller, Kobe White, LaMelo, Knipple, and then
I
they
think
also
Kobe will
got.
probably come off the bench
You think
for
so?
now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. But
because
yeah, I
they are. I
think
mean, they winning 8 straight. You ain't messing with that
they won
lineup
eight
right
straight
now.
game. Yeah, they won 8 straight
And they got
game.
a pretty good lineup starting off.
Yeah.
So,
Also, Memphis gained a lot of
oh, Jaren Jackson, we
draft
talked about
picks.
that trade. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jaren
and Jaren
Jackson got
Jackson going to
traded.
Utah. I think that trade right there benefit both teams. Utah get another big, which now they got Lauren Markkinen, which he can play the three now. He don't have to play the four. He can
Yeah,
play the three. And then next year, obviously, when Walker Kessler come back, they have a nice solid team. Just need if Ace Bailey can become who I think he can be as a player. I think he could be a great player. And
yeah.
then you have who's their point guard? What's his name again? I can't think of his name.
Keontae George.
Keontae George, Ace Bailey, Laurie Markkinen, Jaren Jackson, Walker Kessler. That's a nice lineup.
Yeah,
That's a nice
yeah,
young lineup. So I believe Utah was a good pickup with Jaren Jackson. Memphis obviously gained a lot of draft picks. They didn't get to move Morant.
yeah.
I
They did
heard,
a good
of
job.
course, that teams wasn't like aggressively pursuing them.
Yeah.
But
Just, I mean, with that, with the problems he's got going on, nobody wants to take a risk like that right now. Not in the middle of the season. Maybe somebody in the off season will see. Like I said, playoffs. People, something could change. Somebody feels like, hey, we could use a John Morant. We could change him. We can help him, and they might try to go for that move. A winner, I think, as far as the deadline goes, I'll say the Celtics getting
yeah,
Vooch.
Celtics always winners. Like
Yeah,
their general manager and their top staff is one of the best. I mean, the best in the league.
yeah. Brad
Picking up
Stevens up there
Vucevic,
running everything.
so
Um,
they
Let me see. I
they
think that yeah, because I mean, Vooch he'll play kind of that Al Horford role a little bit,
yep.
but obviously he's got more of a offensive bag, and he has that post game. So
Yep.
I think honestly, I'm with all and we'll get into the Eastern Conference and the pretenders and contenders. But I think Boston is kind of separate. It will kind of separate themselves come playoff time. Uh, we'll
I
see
believe so.
if Jason
Is
Tatum comes back.
Is Tatum coming back this year? Are they
I
expecting
don't
it?
know.
Or
They saying
if
he
they
might.
do,
He
that
wants to
Boston
come around
team,
April, but
okay.
he's
Just
right. I mean,
depends how
he's still
deep they
playing
get in the
good.
playoffs.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's tough to come back from a Achilles tear and then just
Achilles.
get straight into playoff basketball. So,
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we'll see. We'll
uh,
see. Who you think who's your pretenders and your contenders right now?
so I'll get into You want to start with the Eastern Conference, or you want to start with the West?
Let's start with the East because the West is
Yeah, the
is
West. The
dominant. Let's
West is
start with
too
the
low.
East.
Okay, in the East, let me pull up the standings right now. I
Let's
know
start with
obviously
the East.
Detroit's one. I think the
Hmm.
Knicks. I think Boston's two. The Knicks are three. Let me pull it up right here. Um, yeah, because I mean, if Detroit's such a young team, I think they should have beat the Knicks last season in the
Hmm.
playoffs. I don't think obviously they're the best regular season team right now in the Eastern Conference, but I don't think they're going to be the best team.
I mean, Detroit last year against the Knicks in that series, it was a few games where they were up double digits but blew it. I think
Yeah,
in game one, the Knicks went on a 21-0 run or
yeah.
18-0 run. So Detroit, I believe they were young. Last year, I believe that was their first time in the playoff in a long time,
In a
right?
while, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Detroit's won. New York and Boston are tied for the second. They both
yeah.
33 and 18. Cleveland 4, Toronto 5, and then Philly.
Philly has
And
been playing pretty good. Them two
I was
guards
gonna
they
say
had,
Philly. Yeah, I
BJ
like Philly.
Escombe and Tyrese Maxey, they've been playing pretty good. My
Yeah,
only thing with Philly is how healthy can Embiid get, and then obviously Paul George getting suspended 25 games,
yeah.
so he won't be back till about playoff time,
I don't. Yeah, probably just before a
right before,
couple games
right
before.
before, yeah.
Uh, I don't even think Paul George is an important piece as far as now. If he's healthy and he's playing like Paul George of the past, then he's a plus there. But the biggest thing, like you said, if Embiid's healthy, how
Yeah.
long? Excuse me, how long can his body hold up? And when you get come playoff time, um, I don't know. I mean, and they're young guys. Obviously, the young guys don't have a lot of playoff experience as of now. So we'll see how that goes. I think I think the East only has three contenders right now.
The East, Boston, Knicks, and
Boston,
Detroit.
obviously the Knicks, and I
Hmm.
think Cleveland. I think
Oh,
Cleveland just
you think
because
Detroit are pretenders?
I wouldn't say they're a pretender, but I just don't see come playoff time how they can, you know, just
They got a nice
dominate a
team, and
game.
they just picked up Kevin Herter. He gonna
Yeah,
stretch the floor with Duncan Robinson. They got shooters.
yeah,
They got shooters, and then you can't sleep on Cade Cunningham. His
absolutely.
game
Yeah.
is
I
his
love
game.
Kate's
He turned it
game.
up.
Jalen Duren's All Star this year. That was
Yeah.
well deserved. I like Detroit. I really do. I want to be wrong. I feel like
No, you don't like him. You
I
don't
like
like him.
Detroit. I like Detroit. Like I feel like they're gonna be a good team come playoffs. If you think about it, let's say they finish off the season the one seed. These
Hmm.
playing teams, let's say they match up first round with like Orlando Magic or Miami Heat, or let's say the Sixers or something fall to the
Yeah,
play in or
it'd
something.
be hard.
I could
It could
see
be,
I could see a
but I
team knocking them off potentially.
but I think that's from 1 through 8 is any team. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
standing is just the
yeah,
standing because any team Orlando can knock without Tatum. They can give Boston a run, but
yeah.
Orlando has been inconsistent this year.
Orlando has been a
Yeah,
disappointment
they've
this
been
year.
inconsistent. So I say my pretenders are the Knicks. I think the Knicks just,
Next,
I don't know. They got a great team. They got a great overall team on
yeah,
paper. They got Jalen Brunson. They got all stars. They got defensive players. They got everything that you need.
yeah, they
But
do.
they haven't been. I mean, they won 8 straight. Now they won 8 straight. But didn't they just lose like 12 straight before that?
Uh,
11 straight, something like that.
no, they're on a win streak right now.
Yeah, right now they're on the win streak. But before the
Oh,
win streak,
before that, yeah, they had
yeah, I think
lost.
they lost like 11 or 12 straight.
I don't think it was 12 straight. I think it was like 10 out of the last 11 or something like that. Something like
Okay.
that.
Well, yeah. So I think the Knicks they can be a great team, but I think the Knicks they can make it out the East. But I feel like they're their own enemy.
They are.
They just can't get out of their way. Whether
Yeah,
it's Towns that's not playing no defense or he's
yeah,
not asserting himself, or whether it's it's just the rotation. They got
yeah.
so many players. They're so deep. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the Knicks, man. I think the Knicks are the Cowboys of the NBA.
You
You have
think
a
so?
talented
I
roster.
think they're a
You're
little. You gotta give
loaded.
them a little more credit. Dallas don't do nothing in the playoffs.
I
New
know,
York
but the
at least made
Knicks,
it to the conference
even
championship.
even last year, the Knicks they lost to
To Indiana. Yeah.
Indiana Pacers. I mean, we just knew they
They
was gonna
choked.
beat the
That was
Pacers,
that
right?
game one choke where Halliburton, boy, that was crazy.
Yeah, they were up what 20
I think
double
so.
digits
Then they
at
were up
least,
like 8 in the last minute or so.
but they were up double digits in that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
think and
Yeah,
they lost. I think it might have been 2 games they were because it went to game 7 and they choked in Madison Square Garden.
yeah.
Yeah,
that was a crazy series.
and then Game 7, I believe they got blown out, right?
I think so. I haven't. I gotta pull it up.
So the Knicks, I don't know, man. We shall see. I'm not too sold on them. I'm
Yeah, I
not
don't
too
think
sold on.
that's the thing about the Knicks. The Knicks, they have a bunch of good players. That's why I feel like they'll always, compete. Especially, and a
Yeah.
lot of their players have experience. Jalen Brunson, obviously Cat, and then OG won a
Hmm.
championship. Mikal Bridges has been to the finals. So
Yeah,
they,
they
they
got a
got they
lot of
got
experience, but
players.
we're gonna see this year. This is their year. Without Tatum, the East is kind of weak a little bit. I believe the Knicks don't make it out this year. Tatum coming back next year. Cleveland, obviously, they're gonna bolster up their roster. Detroit are only gonna get better. It's gonna get tougher. Philly, Embiid, if he can stay healthy, I mean, it's gonna get tough.
Yeah.
Let's get into the West. Who you think in the West that's
Now this
contenders?
thing is a dogfight, man. Obviously, you
Yeah, the
got the
West is a
top
dogfight.
three teams. You got
For one through about six, I feel like all
anything.
are contend. One through, nah, I wouldn't say six. I
Oh,
say about
just
the top four.
Minnesota.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Lakers, huh?
No, man, the Lakers. They honestly, okay. Obviously, you got OKC and San Antonio,
Right,
right? All right.
right. Denver as
We
well.
know how
Don't
you feel
forget
about
Denver
San
when Jokic
Antonio.
get going.
Yeah, and then Denver. Obviously,
Yeah,
Denver. They were
Jokic get
playing
going.
good. They just been
Yeah.
struggling a little bit. Okay, so those three. Out of those,
Okay.
after those three, let's say if you had to add two more contenders, who
Uh
would
huh.
those two be?
Two more contenders. I would add Houston. I would add Houston, and I would add. Give me 1 second. Houston definitely.
Come on now, don't you play around with them?
I'm not gonna say Minnesota. I know
Oh,
you
you
want me to say
tripping,
Minnesota. I
man?
can't.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
say Minnesota. But I think that's about it. I can't add another one, man. I think Minnesota got flaws in their game. They don't have enough shooters, and also, I think Gobert. I feel like Gobert is starting to become a liability for Minnesota.
No, man.
I feel that it's like it's too much weight on Ant Man's shoulder. Like
Yeah, I do.
I don't. I wouldn't say. I say if there are pretenders in the West, because the West is loaded. If there are pretenders in the West, I say is Minnesota,
No, you're tripping.
and that's no shot at you. I
No,
think
that's a
Minnesota,
shot
and then the Lakers as
at.
well. I think the Lakers also. I think the Lakers
Yeah,
are
I was
pretty.
gonna say the Lakers are one. I think Houston is actually a pretender to me, uh, just because
Yeah,
they got a good team.
yeah.
Obviously, they got Kevin Durant.
Right.
Now
They
we've
got a big
seen,
team as well.
yeah, we've seen last year kind of they struggled with Golden State. They're obviously were a young team, didn't have like an established star like they do now with KD, but
Hmm.
they still have a problem at that point guard position, and they didn't really do anything to address it. Um, And you can
Yeah.
see the past couple games they've been. I mean, they just lost to Houston. They've got kind of problems. KD's kind of getting a little antsy, kind of getting fed up. Obviously, we know Ime Udoka. He's not shy about cussing his team out. So uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Definitely.
think, and obviously LA. I mean, Luka's obviously a great player. He went down a little bit last night. Uh, but apparently it's not a big injury. But the Lakers, man, they're such an easy team. I feel like as far as playoff teams, when it comes to defending them, because
Yeah.
they're gonna play one on one bat. I mean, Luka's gonna dribble the ball. Austin Reeves gonna handle the ball. Uh,
Yeah.
and then
I think
LeBron.
Lakers should have brought some defense. I feel like they
Yeah.
should have. I know Cleveland might not have traded Jared Allen. I know, but it's a couple. It's something you could have brought
They
somebody out
could have
there.
honestly got Miles Turner or something like
Yeah,
that.
Miles
You know?
Turner or somebody a big that can kind of like play with Luca or something like they could have got something. Even maybe go get Clint Capella or
Yeah.
you know
I mean, I feel like with the offense that they have in that lineup, I feel like having a big that can kind of protect because their defense is terrible. DeAndre
or
Ayton
even
is
go
not
get Mark
doing.
Williams. But they said something about his health or
Yeah, I
something.
think
But
Mark Williams doing that health failing physicals again. I don't know.
yeah,
But I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say Minnesota as a fan. I'm gonna say we're a contender. Um, but then obviously you go from 7 to 10 or 7 to 10. I mean, really it's
yeah,
just
Golden
7 and 8.
State,
Golden
Phoenix.
State
Phoenix
and
been playing
Phoenix
really good, and they've been playing
without Devin Booker.
Without Booker and
Yeah,
Jalen Green. They
yeah.
played
I
last
feel
night
like
against Golden State.
their coach is definitely getting them right.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't know. Obviously, I just feel like when it comes down to the playoffs, you need that star power, and they just don't have anybody besides Devin Booker. Obviously, Jalen Green, we saw he struggled last year in the playoffs.
yeah, he did.
Um, so and then I mean Dylan Brooks, you can't. Obviously, Dylan Brooks has had a great year. He's been playing
Yeah,
amazing,
he's been flying.
but
He's been
but
balling.
yeah, I mean you can't come on, you can't count on him as your second scorer or
I mean, but
whatever.
you got yeah, you're right. I don't think so. I think Phoenix is gonna be a fun team to watch,
I
but as
think they'll
far as
be
like
fun for
really
sure.
getting it
Honestly,
far, I don't
they're a
think
lot
so.
better than what we thought they were gonna be. So
Yeah, me definitely me. I thought Phoenix was gonna have a rough year, but they've been playing very well.
yeah. Um, anybody else you want to get to before we switch over to football?
I think what Houston should have done though, with all the point guards being traded, I think Houston should have picked up a point guard at least. Maybe Kobe White, maybe Tyus Jones, somebody,
Yeah.
But I feel like they need a point guard with Van Fleet out for the season. But I feel like Houston got a big team. They got. I still think they can win,
Yeah.
but we'll see in the playoff how they do.
They could get in some buyout options. A couple of these
Yeah,
guards might get bought out. So, a couple teams that could add somebody. We'll see what that looks like.
yeah,
But yeah, obviously Western Conference is going to be a dogfight. It's been that way for the last. I can't even remember last time Western Conference was weak.
yeah.
So
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
yeah,
fun. I really don't like. I love the NBA, but I don't really get into the NBA until playoff time. That's when you can really
yeah, that's when
determine who's who. You
because
can really
now during the regular
distinguish
season,
who's what. Yeah,
yeah, during the regular season, everybody giving up 20-point leads and whatnot. So.
yeah. So it's a lot going on regular season, but yeah.
Uh,
You want to switch
so
over to the bro?
yeah, it's crazy
Talk about
because
the
it's
Pro Bowl a little bit. What you think
no. Let's talk
about it?
about Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Pro Bowl last. We'll talk about obviously it's crazy. This is Super Bowl weekend,
Yeah,
and
Super
we
Bowl
ain't even
weekend
talked about it
came
yet.
by, man. I remember the season just started. I thought my Ravens were gonna be playing this week, but
I
obviously
thought
we're
my
not.
Cardinals. I said earlier in
No
the
way you
season
thought
it was
that.
Cardinals Ravens, man, but no, the script. We wasn't in the script this year, man.
Well,
Yeah.
Super Bowl, man, who you got, man? Who you got?
I mean, let's break it down a little bit. So obviously we got Seattle, we got New England. It looks like both teams are pretty healthy. They had some
Hmm.
injury scares with Drake May and Sam Darnold still dealing with that oblique and whatnot. But I just think when you look at both teams and you put them together, I think Seattle is just a more talented team. Uh,
I agree. I think New England is more younger. Seattle
yeah,
is more talented.
if and it's crazy when I say this, but I'm gonna say this. As far as coaching, I kind of give the edge to New England just because
Me
Mike
too.
Vrabel's a hell of a coach. He's
I
been here
agree.
before. Obviously, Josh McDaniels has won Super Bowls as a coordinator,
Hmm.
and he's been a head coach, whatever. And obviously, Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak have been amazing, but I'm not sure the coaching just because the coach. I don't feel like the gap in coaching is as big as the gap in talent that's going to show this weekend. So I do think Seattle is gonna win. I just feel like JSN. I mean, New England's done a great job playing kind of team defense. They don't really have any superstars on that defense. I mean, obviously they got Christian Gonzalez, who's a solid corner. Um, they got solid pieces on the defense, but when you look at Seattle, I mean, they got stars on offense, defense. They've got
Yeah, they got
young
ballers.
guys. Yeah, and it's
They got
it's
ballers.
what'd you say?
But I think, yeah, Seattle got ballers on both sides of the
Yeah,
field, offense, defense. They got just playmakers everywhere. I think the biggest thing for New England though in this game, it's gonna be that line. It's gonna be in the trenches, O line
yeah,
versus D line.
yeah,
If like it's like how I put it, it's like this: Seattle wide receivers versus New England pass rush.
hmm
If that pass rush can get home and bother Sam Darnold, excuse me. If that pass rush can get home and bother Sam Darnold,
yeah,
I feel like New England can win that game.
mm,
Because if Seattle is able to get off the line of scrimmage and give Sam Darnold time and allow them receivers, because I don't think New England secondaries can play man to man with
nah,
Seattle's
not
receivers.
really.
I don't think so. So Seattle's New England's corners and secondary is gonna need help from that pass rush, and New England got a solid pass rush.
Yeah,
They
they do
they
have a
got a
solid
pretty
pass
good
rush.
pass rush.
They're a good
So
team group.
yeah, so I think it comes down to that. If they can get home and just get Sam Darnold out the pocket a little bit, I feel like New England got a chance. I feel like that's the biggest. That's where it's gonna start at. If they can get pressure, if they can get home, if they can not allow Seattle receivers just to run free, because they're not going. New England corners and second, they're not gonna stop
Yeah,
JSN and all the Seattle weapons they have. But I feel like
Rashid
the game is gonna
Shaheed.
be
Yeah.
played right there, and then
I think
May obviously.
yeah, I think it's important for New England, and we know Josh McDaniels likes to establish the run. If the Patriots can get the run going early in the game and kind of take the pressure off Drake May, because we've seen in the playoffs a little bit so far. Whenever Drake May has to kind of drop back a little bit more than he wants to, and they kind of can't set up the complementary pass game to complement that run. If that's not really clicking, you kind of see him get a little shaken up. So I think if Ramondre Stevenson, who else? Travion Henderson, if they can get going, if the line can create some holes and everything, if they stick with the run and it's working early in the game, I think New England can definitely be dangerous.
Yeah,
Now, if they get behind early
it's gonna be
and
hard.
they got to keep passing the ball and they get into a pass heavy game, then I think
It
that's
might get
not
ugly then.
yeah, because Seattle, I mean, obviously Seattle, their play calling and Clinton Kubiak's scheme is kind of set up with, the threat of the run. They still got a hell of a run game, but they're giving you different motions to free up, their receivers and everything there. So I think if you play that game, unless Sam Darnold, like you said, Sam Darnold can be shaken up if they can get to him, that sort of stuff, then it could go either way at that point. But if you're in New England, you don't want to get behind early. You don't want to have to abandon the run, because that's kind of what got them here. Obviously, if you look at all the games that they've won, the run has kind of kept them steady. Made it easier for Drake May, kind of took the pressure off of him. So I think it could still go either way, but I'm gonna lean Seattle. What do you think? What's your prediction?
I think I'm gonna say Seattle's gonna win. I think Seattle will win, but I think it's gonna be closer than.
What's your score prediction? Give me a score prediction too.
I say my score prediction is probably 28-24.
28 24.
28-24, 27-24.
That was the score to the last Super Bowl the Patriots and Seahawks played, right?
Really?
Yeah, I think it
Oh
was last
yeah,
year.
yeah, it was. With Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
that goal line, yeah,
Let's just
interception.
hope they don't do that shit again.
I think it's gonna be somewhere around there, man. I think it's gonna be a little up tempo, higher scoring. I think New England defense is gonna play very well, but I think ultimately it's gonna come down to a defensive stop. I feel like the defense is gonna do. I, I think the MVP, my MVP pick is gonna be a defensive player. I think a
You think a
defensive player
defensive
is gonna
player
win
for
MVP
Seattle?
for Seattle. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe a defensive player is gonna win MVP.
I'm gonna say prediction wise for the score, I'll probably go 27-21. I think it might come down to like the last second drive or whatever. Um, MVP wise, I feel like I could see, um, like you said, a defensive player. I'll probably go with obviously JSN. Probably
Hmm.
if JSN can get open a little bit, or even Kenneth Walker. I don't see. I'm sure Sam Darnold will probably make a mistake in this game. I can see
Yeah, I
Sam
believe
Darnold.
both quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I'm betting on both quarterbacks going to make a few mistakes in this game.
yeah,
I believe this game is going to be maybe we can see a defensive
yeah,
touchdown. I feel like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a back and
yeah.
forth game, and I think ultimately Seattle is going to do enough to win the game. I think the spread is 4.5. I think New
Yeah, Seattle's.
England will cover that 4.5, but I believe Seattle will win the game ultimately.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The what was it? The NFL awards, NFL
Oh
honors,
yeah,
whatever it was.
Stafford did win MVP. He announced
Stafford
he's coming
MVP.
back for another season.
Yeah,
I mean, if
absolutely.
you win MVP, you have to come
You
back. You
got
can't
to.
just
That's
leave.
nobody. Has anybody ever done that? Do you know? I don't. I
No,
don't think
just
it.
win MVP and retire.
Yeah, I don't think it
Nah,
exists.
unless
Right?
unless he would have won MVP, won the Super Bowl, then I understand. Like I'm
Yeah,
going out
yeah,
on top. You know
yeah.
what I
At that point,
mean?
I think he should have retired if that happened.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to come back. You win MVP, that means you got enough to do it again.
Yeah, and I mean, the Rams got some things to work on, but I mean, they
Right,
can
yeah.
easily
I
get
mean,
back to where
they
they.
still got good pieces. They got
Yeah.
wide receivers. They got good set of running back.
Yep.
Defense is pretty nice. Pass rush. They can try it again next year. And hey,
Yep.
they
Um.
don't. I mean, they
Who?
came short. What?
Yeah.
That?
Couple plays, just literally
Yeah,
couple stops here and there, and then
exactly.
that one drive at the end. So.
Yeah,
Um, what other awards? Miles Garrett, obviously,
yeah,
defensive player
yeah.
of the year.
That
That
was
was
a
no
no brainer.
brainer.
I would have been shocked if he didn't get that.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. Um,
Hmm
and then, like I
Uh,
said, everything else.
McMillan
JSN,
Tetsuroa for Offensive Player of the Year or
offensive
Offensive
rookie.
Rookie of the Year.
JSN was offensive player of the year. Um, and it was solid.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think there was anything
yeah. That
controversial. The
nah, nah.
MVP race was close. I think Stafford should have won it. I mean,
Yeah, I think Stafford. I think the right man won.
he had like I think he had like 12 or 15 more touchdown passes than Drake made.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously Drake still has some on the ground, but um, you can't. A lot of people were saying just because the Rams had a lower seed, and that's I mean it's not their fault that the team is playing. The other team in the division is playing in the Super Bowl, so
yeah,
um, it's it was pretty solid award show.
yeah. I didn't really watch it, but I seen the awards and everything. But I agree. People that won supposed to won.
Yeah, let's get into that because, like you said, you didn't kind of watch this award show. Same thing with the Pro Bowl. Nobody watches the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
You feel like the NFL needs to switch that up a little bit, even with the award show and the Pro Bowl. Like, what do you think? What's going on there?
I don't think the NFL is made for that. I mean, they really can just take the Pro Bowl out and just make the honors or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Pro Bowl is
Yeah,
just to have fun. It's
yeah,
not really like even the NBA All Star is kind of losing this thing, but it's the NBA All Star. The NBA All Star is more so for like going there in the 3 day weekend and having a
yeah.
good time
Use
partying. You
for
know what I'm
the three
saying?
point, all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
So the NFL Pro Bowl don't really have that. Ain't nobody going to a Pro Bowl on no Tuesday. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
I
and they
mean,
don't care
unless
about the
you,
dodgeball and all that. Like
yeah,
I'll be
that's
honest,
just.
they are changing it a little bit. Uh, Back
I feel
then,
like it's good to participate in it
yeah,
if you part of it, but for me to sit on at home and watch people playing dodgeball on TV, I
yeah,
don't think not too many people are gonna do
flag
that. But
football.
NFL, obviously, we taking a break to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you think
Yeah,
you think they should? Here's wait before I ask you that question. Do you think because obviously back then the Pro Bowl used to be more competitive, and they still used to have those mini games like they used to have the throwing competitions and all
yeah,
that other stuff. So I don't think that's the problem. I think obviously you're playing such a violent sport,
yeah.
and it's
You
not
know,
fun. Like it's not in
accolades in
Hawaii
the Pro Bowl.
anymore.
Yeah, it's not
These
in
players
Hawaii
used to
anymore.
look forward to stuff like that and kind of,
Yeah, I
uh,
think that's what they probably should do. Hit it, make it back in Hawaii.
yeah,
And make people like it be like a little trip, family trip to Hawaii. You watch the Pro Bowl and stuff like that. But I don't think no matter what changes they make, I don't think Pro Bowl is something that will really like. Yeah, I gotta watch. I gotta watch something that I put on my schedule. I gotta watch or I
yeah,
gotta attend. This, Super Bowl is different. You know what I'm saying? The NFL got the Super Bowl,
yeah.
and then the season period. The season is must watch. We sit down every Sunday and Monday and Thursday and watch the games. So missing a Pro Bowl, NFL, I don't think it's really much they can do.
Do you think there's a way they can kind of schedule it and kind of move it around that way more people want to participate? That way it's at like even back then there were times in the Pro Bowl where people weren't trying. It's
Hmm
everybody's. Even though we see Sean Taylor cracking the punter, the Pro
Yeah,
Bowl wasn't always like that. Like everybody's
no,
not going full fledged.
no.
Yeah, you see
I
people
don't think
still.
they need to do that though. You don't want nobody to get hurt in the Pro Bowl.
Nah,
This is
nah.
a game we
But
trying to have
do you
fun.
think like maybe if they push it back a week or something, like after the Super Bowl, or maybe a couple weeks after the season ends, you think more
I think
players might want to,
possibly. I think that's a good idea. Possibly,
yeah,
if
or
if they
even
do,
put it in the like before OTAs or mini camp or around the draft
I
time.
think
Like
that's too. I
that's too
think that's too
far.
far. Too
Yeah,
far. I think. maybe a week or two after Super Bowl might be.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
before,
Then you get
before
the
like the combine.
yeah, right
Yeah,
before the combine, right before we get to the like the off season. A week or two. Nah, but you can't do it a week after the Super Bowl because then you got the Super Bowl parade, you got everything going on.
yeah,
Maybe
but
two
then
weeks
maybe
after.
teams that the players actually played and won the Super Bowl, they'll be willing to participate. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I think just the same. We see the same thing with the All Star game. It's just kind of dying. Players don't want to really
yes.
play.
I mean the All Star game. I feel like watching it. Like when I was younger, I used to love watching All Star game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Watching the dunk contest, 3-point shootout, and all the events.
yeah.
But as I got older, I didn't really watch it. But I went to the All Star weekend when it was in Indianapolis about like two
India.
years ago, and attending it is amazing. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's fun as hell. But watching on TV just not the same experience. So I feel like the All Star game is more so like if you can attend it, you can go. Hey, it's fun.
yeah. You could get to
Fun.
meet a lot of the players, ex
Yeah, it's
players.
fun. You get they got different events. You can meet the
Yeah,
players. They got signings. They got all kind of stuff, and
yeah, all
you
type of
meet
stuff.
anybody. I done seen so many celebrities at when I went to All Star event. I met so many people. Like dang, but it's very fun, interesting. It's lit. I
Yeah.
don't know if the NFL does that. I don't know, but as far as like Pro Bowl, or,
What do you think about the NFL award show? You think they should change that up a little bit too, or you think
I
it's
think the award show should come maybe after the season, after the Super Bowl. You think?
I feel like it could. I feel like it should come.
But that's part of like the NFL media is that Super Bowl week, right?
Yeah, I feel like because
But
you
I feel like
remember.
it could be like a jinx, right? Say if
Yeah, I was gonna
Drake May
say.
would have won the MVP. Now you got all this pressure for the Super Bowl. Now you just want MVP. Now it's like,
Yeah, and there was a thing at some point. I think Patrick Mahomes ended up breaking it, where the last few MVPs that played in the Super Bowl went like, I think it was from like 2011 to like 2021 or something. They went like 0-8 or something like that, 0-6, something like that.
yeah, I can see that.
Um,
Man, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure right there.
yeah,
Just winning the
I
MVP a couple days and then you got the Super Bowl.
I think, and I might be wrong, but I remember the NBA did the NBA award show when they used to actually do an award show for that
Hmm.
small period of time. I think they had it after the season. I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
Um, it kind of it just allows everybody to kind of wind down and stuff like that. But
yeah,
obviously, once you get at the end of the season, people want to take vacation.
yeah. So I mean, maybe, but the NFL award show did that just became a thing, right? Did they always have a award show?
They have always NFL honors. It used to, I think it became something in like 2015 or something. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay,
Yeah, they didn't used to do that stuff. Because that's
okay.
when they used to literally the only award show sports they used to have was just the ESPYS. Really,
Yeah. Oh,
I feel
okay,
like they
okay. Yeah,
didn't.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
They never
That's
used to
what's
do
up.
anything else back then. I think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we got a big weekend coming up. Obviously, Super
Yeah. Got
Bowl.
a good weekend. Stay
Go.
safe,
Are
man.
we gonna
Don't do
be at
nothing
Hassan? We gonna be
crazy.
at their crib?
Yep. Yep. We're gonna have a party.
Oh, we
Hey,
down 4.
just
We losing to the Pelicans right now, man.
dang. That's why I say I think y'all pretenders. I don't think y'all really it, man. I don't think y'all really it.
Hey, we're gonna see
You
how
want to
this.
close out, man? Wish everybody a
Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend. Stay safe. You know what I'm saying? Don't do nothing crazy. Have
Yep.
fun. Eat
We
good.
appreciate you guys for tuning in. Whenever we do post this, should be coming soon. Um, look forward to making more content for you guys and kind of enjoying that there. So, um,
Yeah, and give us feedback in the comments.
yeah,
Give us feedback of what you think we should improve on, what you think we need to, because we're a new podcast. We trying to
yeah.
just doing something that we like. So just let us know,
And it's,
and
obviously, it's for the audience too. So,
yeah.
obviously,
So just let us know
for you
what we
guys to
can do
consume.
different, what
So,
y'all like, what y'all don't like, and all that. But yeah,
yeah,
appreciate y'all. If anybody tuning in, subscribe, like, whatever.
yeah, whatever. Yeah,
And we
we appreciate
appreciate
all
y'all
the whole 9 yards. Let's go, guys.
for sure.
The Casual
Have a great
Fandom
weekend.
podcast.
Stay safe.
Yeah, we out. Oh shit, where's my mouse? I'll edit that part out.